Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. So today I thought it would be fun to share some of the ideas that I've come up with from my shopping sprees at the Dollar Tree for Valentine's Day. But first I want to say what I usually try to say is that I'm going to have timestamps in the description box because I have a lot of small projects that I want to work on. And I thought if there was something that you really kind of wanted to try out, it'd be a lot easier for you to look it up in the description box and go straight to it. So if you see anything that you want to try here, just try to make it a little easier for you to find it. So this is the journal, one of the journals that I made in my last video. It's the envelope one. And the pink really said something to me about the colors. I just thought the colors just, I don't know, it just kind of worked out for me. So the first thing I want to talk about is this little insert and how I decorated it. So let me grab, so I used a napkin first. Let me grab those real quick. So I bought these. I like these. I kind of went with a watercolor look in this journal, and finding these was so cool. And then these I thought were super cute, but I thought they looked kind of retro, you know, mid-century. So I grabbed those. But yeah, I'm sure you've seen this 100 times, you know, but I'm just gonna go through the motions real quick. But one thing that I did find after years of using napkins in my art journals, the easiest way to actually separate these, hopefully I did that right, is to put a piece of tape on one side or the other and then kind of pull it away. Yeah, there we go. I wanted to show that. I love it. I did not make that up. This is just, I don't know, magic for me. So they're only 2-ply, so, you know, that's how that goes. But keep these somewhere close by. They're great for cleaning up, you know, that you can use them when you're maybe dabbing on there when you've got glue that you want to get off of there, or just to clean up your workspace. So don't necessarily throw these away. This right here is actually from a large sheet of clings. I didn't like the choices that they had for stickers. I don't know, it just wasn't my style. So and the clings were just so adorable. I absolutely love them. You'll see them here and there while I'm going through this video. Oh, hold on. Here we go. This is why I like to save my packaging, because it's really awesome to do organizing with. But I really wanted to show you some of these. Sorry about the crackling. There we go. Some of these hearts that were in this cling. I just absolutely think they're so cute. I'm probably going to use them when it's not necessarily Valentine's Day. Isn't that cute? Look at this one. Oh my gosh. I absolutely love that one. Cute. This one's kind of cool. It's kind of bohemian. That one's okay. I love the little flowers on that one, but look at that. Isn't that pretty? I love it. So what I did was I kept it on the paper that they come on, and because I wanted to be able to glue them down. And I'm finding that, sorry about all the breaks, I've got a cough, I've got a tickle in my throat. But anyway, all I did was I just kind of roughly cut around this one, but if you just cut around the heart, they glue on just fine. They stay just fine. So I just thought I'd throw that out there as an option. I really loved them. I was really, really glad that it worked out the way it did. So let's see. Now this right here is, I found a stack of postcards just lying in a random area, which you do at the Dollar Tree, right? Or any store actually. And it was just a bunch of cards, and I thought, well, you know, any kind of paper product that with decorating on it at the Dollar Tree, I'm grabbing it. So some of these work out really good as, I put the graph paper on there. I bought some of their graph paper and I glued that on there. And it's a great journaling spot. Let's see what else. This is some tissue paper. I bought some of their Valentine's tissue paper. See what I could do with it. This is backwards. Let me show you here. as you can see. I like the muted a little bit more. And yes, it is on some tea-dyed paper, but yeah, I like the way that looks. I'm mixing it up with tea-dyed and not tea-dyed, so. Oh, and this, might as well show you this since it's out. Here's some of them too. I cut these out of a paper sack. They were bigger on the paper sack, but yeah, when I got a bunch of these paper sacks and I'm using those as some of my decor. Like I said, sometimes finding decorative paper is not so easy at the Dollar Tree. This is fun. Oh, this is another journaling spot. I thought that was cute with the heart on it. Yeah. I'm going to be doing this in this video. It's a belly band that I made out of tape. I know I've done a video where I've done this before, but I want to do it again. So let's see, another journaling spot. What else do we have in here? Oh, excuse this, take that out. So this is, let me get that. Some thank you notes. And I loved these roses. And I thought, you know, that's kind of Valentine's-y, right? And then I just put, the heart on some craft paper and then cut it out. And it's pretty plain, but, you know, I put some lines on the back for a journaling spot. And this is just one of their doilies, their smaller ones, cut in half and then folded in half. And I thought that'd make a nice tuck spot. These are just some ideas in case you want to, you know, just for decorating your junk journal, your Valentine's junk journal. This is another card that I made with just one of the clings, a piece of doily, some rhinestone, you know, here, let me grab them. This kind of thing. Grab some of those off of there. And a little watercolor dot. And I'll show you how I made that. Cute. This envelope is a little experiment that I did with some watercolor that I'll show in another video. I've got way too many ideas for this one. I didn't want to fill it up too much. Let's see. Let's flippy floppy this. And I think that's it. So let's get to some of our projects. Okay, so the first project that I want to work on is, where did it go? So not that one, but I think it was, yes, it's this one. So let me move this out of the way. So this is not working for me. I don't really care for the way it looks. So what I've done is I've come up with a plan where I had these left over from when I was trying to figure out how to make the envelope journal. And I actually dug this out of my recycle because I thought, instead of trying to figure out how to, you know, piece a bunch of stuff on there, how to, you know, cut it and all that kind of stuff, why not go ahead and just paper over one of those and then glue it on? So that's the first thing I'm going to do. I really should have had this video ready a lot sooner. Oopsie. A lot sooner, I know, but I just I got, you know, a little sidetracked with other projects and kind of put it off a little bit too long. So hopefully getting this out there a week before Valentine's Day, or at least close to a week before Valentine's Day. And I've got a few ideas about this journal that might work out as far as like not necessarily having it completed before Valentine's Day necessarily. Let's see, I think I can come down a little bit more on this side. Okay, a little crooked. I'm not worried about perfection. Whoopsie, apparently that was an understatement. Hold on. Let me see if I can get that off of there, get that wrinkle out. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, that's close enough. And then I thought maybe just a little cluster up there would be kind of cool. So yeah, I kind of, oh, this is my, This is a page from my Nancy Drew book. I love it. I love the color of this paper, but I thought it would be a little bit prettier than that. I tried it, and that was just a little bit too bold. So I decided to put a little bit of paint, white paint on it, and scrape it. So yeah, these are just some ideas that I thought I would share. Oh goodness, I didn't cut this one up. And some of the ideas that I had for this journal was, I was thinking, not only is it kind of a cool place maybe to have some journaling, but I thought it might be kind of fun to have it as a keepsake. You know, like be able to put keepsakes, like maybe, put some of your Valentines in here, depending on how many you get. We used to give each other Valentines at work. Back in the old days when I worked, we would make Valentines for each other. I still have them. So if you get a lot of Valentines, or if you just want to kind of have fun with all the cute stuff that's out there. Hopefully that's not crooked. That's fine. All right, let's move on. Okay, so this next project I've done before, but I love doing it, so I'm going to do it again. It's the belly band. So I took a bunch of the tissue paper and doily and sliced them up into small pieces and made kind of a confetti out of it. I should have cut them. I could cut them a little bit smaller. I think I might. Some of them were really, really long. That's okay if they are. You can always just trim them down a little bit. But I don't know why I love this project so much, though. I thought I'd just go ahead and throw it in here because this is almost like the perfect journal for this project. So just some masking tape, random bits. A piece of tape about the size of your page. There. And then what I did, because I thought it needed a little bit more, was I just took a little bit of glue and just kind of put a little bit more on there in the middle. Put it into a line again. And squished it one more time. Just do it a couple more times until you get as much covered as you can so that you don't have any wet glue. This is my colander of pieces, bits and pieces. It's great to have on hand for easy cleanup. And then just let it dry. And then you might want to clip it in a little bit to size. But yeah, super easy and so cute. I just absolutely love it. Let me show you real quick what I did when I trimmed. Let me grab it real quick. Where are you? So this is what it looks like on my page. And I just added a cute little white tag, one of their little jot tags, and a heart. That's enough for me. And now I have a cute little tuck spot. But this is what I did with the little end piece that I cut off because it was too tall. That's why you want to make them a little bit taller, because then you'll have these little cute pieces that you can use in other projects. And these are some of those hearts that I cut out of that paper sack, a doily, a sticker, and some of those gems. Super simple. Okay, so let's talk about the watercolor real quick, because this I love. I'm just really, really super happy with the way this came out. So these are the Jot Dot labels. They're paper, so they will take watercolor. And this one is supposed to be red, but look at up close though. Isn't that cool? I love it. So, oops, purple or lavender and pink. So let me do one real quick. Make sure I have the right side. Okay. I'm going to do them in different colors because I have enough pink and red. Get all the way to the edges so that you know you have the edges of the dots done. And yes, they're going to curl up, but that can work for you because then it drips. And if it drips, then it kind of gives that cool look. Let's see, let's try green. Oh, that's a pretty green. Goodness, I like that. We could just make it a little bit darker by grabbing just a little bit more of the paint. All right. Let those sit and dry. And this was something that I wanted to decorate. So I thought it would be fun to try to get some of the watercolor on here, but I used this outdoor paint. And it says satin acrylic paint. It says outdoor. And I think they did something a little bit more to it. And so the watercolor just it didn't play well. Let's just say that. But I did this one and it did beautifully. Now I haven't figured out what I want to use these for yet. I just wanted to have some fodder on hand in the colors that I'm using. And so I did that. But I thought that that would look really pretty on here. So let me get my paint ready. So I'm just going to do swatches. Hopefully it won't resist too much. Just color swatches, just something different. Just a little bit of art, you know, kind of a not junk journal, but kind of an art journal kind of look. Okay, so I have a feeling I'm going to have the same issue with the fact that that paint resists too much. It is watercolor, and yeah, that's just not going to work. If I didn't cover it, it wouldn't be a problem. But I'm just going to do something like that, let it dry, and hopefully it will be okay. Whoa, I don't want that on there. There. Okay. Leave it to the side. Okay, let's see where we're at with this. So this wasn't exactly my vision when I started this, but I'm okay with that. It looks a little artsy. It's kind of cool looking. This right here is a piece from the tissue paper, the Valentine's tissue paper. On the back, they have a little icons that show you like ideas that you can use. And they're little roses, and I thought, well, you know, why? When I was tossing it in the recycle, or in the trash, you can't recycle tissue, but when I was throwing them in the bin, I thought, well, why get rid of it? Why throw it away? So I don't know if I want it on the paint like that, or if I want it up here. I think I want it right there. So just some glue. Hello, glue. There we go. And so I forgot to mention it earlier, but this is, I don't know if I want it backwards or, yeah, let's just do a little contrast. This is a tag from that glue stick that I wanted to repurpose, and I put some pink lined paper on the back. So sometimes what I'll do, usually what I'll do, is once I put the glue on the back, I'll go over it with a little bit of water to kind of push it down. That was a lot of water. So hold on, let me grab something to sop some of that up with. That was a little bit too much water. Okay, and that just kind of gets the edges down and almost melts it into the paper. So yeah, tag's done. Okay, let's go on to the next project. Now I want to show you something that I came up with for a little bit more decor with things that you have. Always be careful, please. This is my larger pokey, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a bow. It'd be easier just to put it like that and then pull up than to risk poking your finger. So just set it down and pull up on it like this. There, that's a lot better, a lot safer. And then all I did was make a bow out of some baker's twine. Super simple, but it was cute. Oh, let me grab my card. Where is it? This is the card I'm talking about. See? Just put it right there on the little heart. Let's see, I might need to make those a little bit bigger. So what I did was I laid it over the hole and I pushed it through with the pokey tool. Be careful. And then grab it. And then lay it over the hole, push it through with the pokey tool. Okay, so hold on. Let's see. Maybe I need to have it at the very end. I think maybe, yeah, putting it in the middle like that is what the problem was. Let me see if I can twist it up a little bit, then lay it over that hole and try to push it through with that pokey tool. There we go. Okay. There. Super simple, but just making something, you know, you pay $1.25 or $50. Their prices are all over the place right now for a big sheet of clings, and just using your pokey tool and a little bit of baker's twine, you make something that's just a little bit more decorative. So yeah, I thought you'd like that. Okay, so now I want to make a hidden paper clip out of this cute little flower. These are a bunch of silk flowers or fabric flowers from the Dollar Tree, and I only have large ones left because my grandson and I love making magnets for the refrigerator out of them, and I've kind of run out of the smaller flowers. So because they don't have brads at the Dollar Tree, I've looked and looked, I can't find them. That's what I usually use when I make these, is I'll put a brad through that spot and then glue a magnet to the back. Super easy, super fun. But because I can't find brads at the Dollar Tree, I figured a different way of doing this, and I wanted to share it with you. So just a couple of wonky circles, nothing fantastic. Make them about the same size just to make it easier for you when you go to use the stapler. So this is actually a stapler from the Dollar Tree, and so it's, of course, it's not the top of the line, but it will go through all these layers. Hold on, I want these to be that way a little bit. Let's see. Okay. So because they're kind of big, oh, I want the lines going in that direction, but because these are so big, it's kind of hard to get this in there without catching petals in there. So, but give it your best shot. And it's nice to have this one big, but this one can get cut down now that you know that you've gone through all of them. And if for any reason you do have some of these larger petals, you can cut those down. I did on that because it's just too much. So I'm just going to kind of cut it back just a little bit. And what I'll use for the middle is a heart. Let me cut it down some more. As long as that staple is through all of the layers, you're good. Let's see. Yeah, that one will work. Let me see if this one will look cute. That's cute. But I think I like the white one better. Just a little glue. Oops, a little glue. Hello. And you could use a sticker. I put a few gems on that one. Or just glue a heart, whatever you want to do. That one actually came up pretty cute. Okay, I'm going to set this aside to dry. Okay, so it's been a little while since I've made a hidden paper clip. And hopefully this will make sense the way I do this. There are lots and lots of videos out there on how to make these. The idea behind this is the fact that I wanted to have this on the front of my journal because it's so big and, you know, it's thick. So this is what I came up with. So put a piece of paper in your paper clip, cut it to where it's going to be long enough to cover. This hopefully this will be long enough. You know, let me see. You know, the thing, I wanted to use this one, but I don't think that it's going to be long enough. Let me grab another piece of paper. This is just some of the napkin on an index card, just in case I needed to have some decorative paper to use, but this one's not going to work. But luckily I made a few other ones that might. So let me grab these. They're going to have to go long ways. I don't know. Let's try it. I'm going to put it on this side because then those won't be upside down. I just want to see if it'll fit on there. Yeah, that's good. Let's just do that. A little bit of glue. Probably didn't need to go all the way down, but okay. Yeah, I definitely did not want to go all the way down. I wanted to end it at this because now they're going to glue together. So let me wipe those off real quick. There we are. My handy dandy napkin. There. And then I'll slip a piece of plastic in between there so it doesn't all glue together. I'll try to get it in between. There. Get in between there. Okay, now I can press it down. And now I can actually glue that to that, right? And let it all dry at the same time. I think I want it a little higher. There. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry. Okay, so I want to be able to put my Valentines in my journal. The problem is that the envelopes that come with those cards are really they're really wide. I mean, if you look at them, see how wide? And that's just enough to stick out of my journal. So I came up with an idea of making them a little bit smaller. Hopefully this will make sense. So what I did was I clipped about not a quarter of an inch, but just a bit. I guess that could be a quarter of an inch on each side. Pulled it back, clipped it off. There. Then I folded down to this line. Hold on, this one probably needs to be a little either straighter or something. Yeah, there. So yeah, that's about a quarter of an inch down. And then I folded my envelope down about a quarter of an inch. And if you have to trim more, that's fine. Let's see, I think that's straight. Hold on. It's about right. There. And then open it up, flap it in there. I don't think you need to glue it. I don't think it's necessary. You can if you want. But then it fits on my thinner pages. And then I can tuck, well, I want them to go in this direction. And then I can tuck these in, and it's the right size. It's just another way of using supplies, using things. And I would, you know, and if you save your envelopes when you get your Valentines so that you can use them to hold your Valentines on your pages. I like to go down a little bit in case I feel like I want to decorate up at the top there instead of having two wide spaces. That's why I do that. So yeah, now it's in there. Let's glue this one in. So this was something that I thought of kind of at the last minute. I'm not sure how this is going to work, but the idea behind buying some Valentines was that I was watching one of my favorite channels, Planning with Bumble, and she's doing junk journaling. And in her junk journal, she's using a lot of packaging and just things that she collects, you know, Happy Mail, just a lot of cool stuff. And I just kind of want to have that look a little bit in this journal. And so I picked up some, I thought because it was candy that it would be kind of fun for the packaging. And then I thought I could use these Valentines somehow. I was kind of hoping to get Valentines that had little envelopes, but I don't know. I didn't find any, and it was really busy over there when I was over there. So I'm going to see if I can work these into my journal somehow. Let's see. I like these the best. So if this was my junk journal, excuse my arm. And I wanted to put some fun stuff that I got in the mail or somebody gave to me. Whoops. Cute. I like that whole idea of Candyland. Come on. All right. It's going to use some regular old glue. Now, one of the things that I could do is let's see if I can find something I can put through these holes that might make it look kind of cool. So this is the handle to my Valentine's bags. It's kind of bulky, so I don't know if that would be a good idea. I don't know if I want to bulk it up more, but what I did is I untwisted them. So they untwist, pull them apart. This is from a regular one, and it's just crepe paper, and you can use it to decorate stuff with, right? So I untwisted them, and then I pulled them apart like this, and I made a couple of bows out of them. This one's actually tied, and then this one has a wraparound, and I think I like the tied one better. That one came out really big, but that one came out pretty cute. But I wonder if, I don't know if this red goes very well with that though. I don't know. Let's see. I'm not digging that. Hold on. What else do I have? Where are the rest of them? They're all kind of pink like that. I wonder if any of these would be cute. Oh, that might be cute. Let's try this one. This is where you put the little candy. Oh, look. Here they are. Like that. Isn't that cute? Love it. Let me see if I went this way. Glue. Then just kind of pulled it apart a little bit. That might work. I could trim it a little bit more. There. Just an idea for a little keepsake. I don't have any at this point. This is, even though I'm kind of getting a late start on this project, this is also something that I thought would be fun after Valentine's Day. That's kind of where I'm going with this whole idea of using this after Valentine's Day also, if you're going to put keepsakes in it. And then to have areas that you can actually journal. And this is blank, and I could put lines on that or just journal inside of it. So yeah. Okay, so page 1. All right, so that was my idea with Valentine's. And I got to share my little crepe paper project. This is some of the, I found some lace over in the floral department. I couldn't believe it. So I grabbed 2 of those. Isn't that cute? I'm thinking I might use that as a tie when this thing gets overwhelming, which I'm sure it will. Okay, I'm going to clean my space up and I'll be right back. Okay, well, I also thought it would be fun to use some candy packaging, which is why I bought Valentine's and candy. So I'm going to see if I can use some of this on a page, kind of as a keepsake. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, because I could really go down a rabbit hole. But some of these images are super cute. So I'm going to go ahead and cut some stuff out, and I'll meet you on the other side. Okay, so I have kind of a plan here. I've cut all of my pieces out. I think I'm going to start with this one. So I got this from the box of, what are they? Yeah, they're heart-shaped Krabby Patties. They're these little guys. They're really, really fun. And the whole idea with this part of my project is kind of memory keeping. Even though I'm the one that bought this candy for myself, if somebody were to buy me some candy and I had some cool ephemera, then I would put it in this journal, a little, you know, keepsake of a gift or a card, right? This has lines on the other side for journaling. So I'm making a journaling card out of this one. And what really kind of drew me, I guess you can say, to this is that Krabby Patties, a friend of mine at work used to kind of make fun of me. She called me Krabby Patty once in a while because her kids loved SpongeBob. And so she used to tease me, and I just thought it was just hilarious. I don't know why. I just thought it was so funny. She was a funny girl. But yeah, that's me, Krabby Patty. And I always wondered what they were because I don't watch the cartoons. My kids didn't watch a lot of cartoons at that time, so. And I thought maybe these squares made it look a little like a diner, kind of retro. So yeah, that one's done. Now, let's see. I'm going to do a couple of pages of some ephemera from my boxes of Valentines. I think I'll do this one first. Kind of have a random idea of how I'm going to do this. When I do doilies, I just do along the edges as much as I can, in the middle as much as I can, and then just on some of the larger spots. I don't really pay a lot of attention to the little intricate parts. They usually tend to stay in place if you get those larger areas done. But I thought the white on the tea dyed might be a nice contrast. Okay, so let's go ahead and start putting some of this stuff in the journal. But first I want to show you quickly what we have going on here. Once you pull this backing off, which is always fun, you can see your watercolor stickers. And I've been keeping these. I might be able to use them on something interesting, but I just love the way these are coming out. Let's do the green one. I have some projects, some Dollar Tree projects coming up where I'm going to be using more florals, springtime stuff, getting out of the holiday, Christmassy and Valentine's, and into kind of some fun gardening things. Cool, huh? All right, so the way I do this is I just use double-sided tape. I think I might have glued it to this a little bit, but I think that'll come right off with a wet wipe, so I'll have to work on that. But I think maybe some of this glue got on here. Let's pick a page. Let's go to the other side. Let's see what we have over here. Now I've used, I wonder if this would be a good one. Or this, no. I think I want to use this one. Because I want it to be sturdy. Okay, I'm going to just tear. Let's see if this works. Let's see if I can tear that off. Just so it looks less kind of choppy. And then, like I said, I use those later. Wrong one. Here, this one. Right about there. Get out your double-sided tape. The last time I did this, the double-sided tape worked on one side perfectly and on the other side not so well, so I just glued it. But this is a good way to, you know, if you have to put a little bit of glue on double-sided tape, that's not such a bad thing. It works. Shedding. I just put that right back in the bowl. Okay, let's see if we can get, it looks like a shaggy dog. I'm just going to leave it that way. I'm not going to clip it. I'm not going to trim all that stuff right now. I kind of like the way it looks. All right, so this is a journaling card. I could put that here, except I think I have something that goes there. So this came out cute. It's dry now. Let's put that in there. Yeah, that works. Just some baker's twine at the top. You could put yarn on there. You could put you could put a piece of fabric in a bow. Yeah. Have to wait for that to dry. That's kind of cool. Let's look for a place for SpongeBob. That's taken. Let's see. You know what? I want it there. I want to see what it looks like there. There. Yeah, I like that. I like that color. I can use this for something else. Save your little bits. Now, for the hidden paper clip, I thought it would be nice to have it here. Let me see if it'll work. Looks like it's going to work. I thought maybe... Uh-oh, let's make sure. Did I get it in there right? If you don't glue it down well enough, sometimes you can catch it in that weird spot. I just want to make sure. Yeah, I might need to re-glue that. But I thought it would be nice to have this on there, because maybe it could hold that down, but it doesn't look like that's gonna... I might have needed to make my flower a little higher on this. Okay, I had to re-glue it up a little bit higher on here because it wasn't doing what I needed it to do. So it showed an upside down heart on this side, and I didn't want to see that. So I covered it with a piece of my watercolor fodder. Let me cut that bottom part off. Don't really like that. Let's see what it looks like. That's cute. Okay, so let's see if it'll work this time. Try to get it on there without destroying that. There we go. That's much better. Okay, now let's see if it's going to do what I want it to do, which is hold this down a bit. Help hold this down. There. So it's not exactly holding it down, but I am going to make a tie for this. I'm just not, I haven't made up my mind how I want to do that yet. So yeah, I like that. Let's do a quick flip through. Little Valentine keepsake on there. Hidden paper clip with a, oh gosh, I didn't push it all the way down. Let's see if I can push it all the way down, if that'll help. Hold on. Maybe that will. Yeah, it'll help a little bit more. Push down all the way. Okay, enough of that. My little keepsake Krabby Patty journaling card. Valentine, made out of a thank you note. This right here, because I've not used parchment paper much before, I was not expecting it to be this dark and strange looking, so I'll cover that with something else at a later date. But I really like the way this little page spread came out. We used to play this game when the kids were little, so little memories. Memories for me, and yeah. And then I've already shown you that. We made an envelope smaller to put a Valentine in. Uh-oh. There we go. Okay. I'll have to trim that off. Yeah, that's what I did. I need to trim that off. I'll do that later. That came out kind of cute. Barbie. Valentine's memory page. Flip. We covered this with some hearts. I just showed you that. Something I worked on. Added another belly band. Finished my tag. And that's all. That's everything. Well, I hope that I gave you some inspiration to use some of your Dollar Tree goodies that you buy this year. And I hope that you'll maybe make yourself a little keepsake journal, a place where you can jot down some ideas and kind of document anything that you receive over the holiday. Well, thank you so much, as usual, for watching my video. I hope I gave you some good ideas. And until next time, have a great day. Bye-bye.